Info Media Reacts. All right, welcome to the channel. Let's get into it right now. I'm your host. I want to talk about Mike Epps and some of the things that he had to say recently when he was on the Breakfast Club. Mike Epps pretty much said that he didn't think that he didn't have a problem with President Trump cutting SNAP programs because he felt that the SNAP programs or the food stamp programs, these government assistant programs keep, I think, black people sort of like on crutches because you become dependent on the government to do everything for you. Now, him saying what he said went over very well with the mega right crowd that follows Trump. But will Mike Epps take criticism for these statements, as these statements, you have to look at the nuances of who's on food stamp programs, who's not, who's the majority, what are these programs originally for? Okay, in this article right here, Mike Epps talks that SNAP benefits and black community. He explains why he was glad that Donald Trump administration temporarily cut off the food stamp program. And he had a few words to say about y'all ninjas out there, saying that he was glad that President Trump took the ninjas, you know what that word is, off of it. I'm going to play the actual video. It's only going to be a 50-minute clip, 49-minute clip of Mike Epps explaining himself on the Breakfast Club. Now, you may agree and you may disagree with Mike Epps and what he is saying, and that's exactly what I want you to do. Leave comments in the comment section of this video. Let me know how you feel about what he was saying. Do you agree? I want to say thank you for watching this video, but make those comments and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Do you agree? After you hear what I'm about to play, you be my guest to write down what your honest thoughts are about that. Now, we know that Mike Epps is no stranger to controversy because he was involved in controversy when it came to his back and forth battle with this man right here, which is Kevin Hart. Remember, him and Kevin Hart were going back and forth about who's really a funny comedian, who's really a Hollywood plant, who's getting certain backing and who's not really that funny, but yet they're making a lot of money. You understand what I'm saying, everybody? So they have since squashed their situation, but I just wanted to just put that out there because the man does speak his mind, whether you agree with what he is saying or not. He's a great comedian. Let's just keep this in mind. Let's give him his props. He is a great comedian. I think Mike Epps is very underrated as a comedian in entertainment, and that's my opinion about it. But most importantly, I want to ask this question too. Are you sick and tired of hearing celebrities, people that are making money, who don't have the same struggle? Are you sick of them putting their 2 cents into situations? Now, to Mike Epps' credit, now I have to be honest about this, to his credit, this brother went back to his community. I think he brought up the block of a neighborhood he used to live in as a kid, and he actually still lives there, according to him, when he was on Breakfast Club. And he's brought up the block, he's refurbished buildings, and so he literally owns his own community that he grew up in. So he put his money where his mouth is. He is about the community, and he did it in the community where he grew up himself. So I just want to give him some shine on that. But are you going to agree with what he said right here? Let's go into it right now. It's crazy, and I want to hear what you all think. Check this out.
Always loving God and keeping the faith. That's why I told people when these food stamps and stuff get cut off, don't worry about that. See, black people, we've been getting our shit cut off. We've been getting our doors kicked in and stuff. This is not for us.
Now, Mike Epps is 100% about that. Black people are no strangers to having our doors kicked in. He's right about that. Black people are no strangers to being picked with by the police, being surveillance, being cut off of certain programs. Like, I got to be honest, originally when these welfare programs were put into action, such as food stamp programs and assistance, these programs were not meant for black people. If you go back and you look at the history coming out of the Great Depression, most of these welfare programs were designed specifically for white people, and they were on these programs for many years. Black people didn't apply because black people never got them. So black people, historically, we've never been a stranger to this. These situations. What's happening right now with ICE arresting Spanish-speaking people and breaking in their doors and arresting them. Black people, we've gone through those things, and we even tried to warn people about that prior to this whole thing happening in the country today. Let me get back to Mike Epps.
So don't take this as personal about the food stamps and all that. I'm actually glad they cutting some of these niggas off food stamps, because some of us need to not be on food stamps, because it's a trickle-down effect. You get the food stamps, then you go buy the food that give you cancer. Then you eat the food that give you cancer. Then you're sad. You walking around here upset. Your diet's fucked up.
Do you agree with what Mike Epps is saying? On the one hand, he's saying he's glad that the program was cut off. Then you have to say, well, why would he be glad for that? He's doing pretty well for himself. But then he says, well, people are they're eating bad food. Bad health in America is a norm, unfortunately. He does make a good point there, but let's hear some more. I still want your opinions, whether you agree or disagree.
Now, I'm going to tell you some honest God truth. Your diet then sent a lot of niggas to prison.
Explain.
They're going to take all of this and put it on Fox News.
Yeah.
And it's going to say, Mike Epps says, you niggas don't need to be on food stamps.
Now, let me say this right here. What Mike Epps is saying, there's been studies on this. This may be some validity to what he's saying, that when you eat really bad foods, high in grease and oil, and when you're eating food that's been fried in seed oil, various bad types of oil, high calorie type foods, non-nutritional type foods, it can affect your mind in your body. And they've done studies. Let me just say this. They did a study, I think, in a prison where they gave one set of inmates, a test group, nothing but fried foods. The other set of inmates got nutritionist type foods, less fried foods and things of that nature that are cooked in oils. And this is what that was put out there. The inmates that ate a high diet in fried types of saturated foods, they tend to be had more anger, got into more mischief, and was not able to compose themselves. Versus the guys that were given a better diet, they seem to be more calmer, more fluent in their behavior, less aggressive. Do you buy in on that? Because what he's saying here is pretty much what that is.
Yeah.
And you're going to go viral, and they're going to call you MAGA Mike.
MAGA Mike is crazy.
You got to finish it.
All right, Mega Mike. So you heard it from Mike Epps himself. Do you agree? Do you disagree with what he is saying here? But let me put some facts over fiction, because we need to be factual right now, everybody. Now let me show you something. Mike Epps said that the food stamp program has been bad for black people. It's keeping us back. But my question is that true, or is that just nonsense from Mike Epps? Because when I've done research, black people are not the biggest recipients of the welfare program. Particularly white women are the biggest users of things like SNAP and welfare programs, but nobody never emphasizes that. Let me show you some stats right here on this whole situation, starting with this right here. If you just do simple research, key demographics of SNAP recipients, right? This is back in the fiscal year of 2023. This is the data. White overall at 35% of the participants were the main people getting SNAP benefits. White folks. Black people came in at 26%, white folks at 35%, Latinos or Hispanics at 16% participated in these programs, Asians at 4%, Native Americans at 1%. Let me put this back up. Who do you think, everybody, is the biggest benefactor? Mike Epps is saying he thinks it's bad, but one of the things that Mike Epps failed to mention is that the majority of the individuals who benefit from these welfare or SNAP programs or food stamp programs are children and the elderly. Let me show you a statement right here. The majority of SNAP recipients are children, the elders, or people with disabilities. Many recipients live in households with earned income, underscoring that the program assists the broad cross-section of low-income Americans. And we know that in low-income areas and communities, you have food deserts where you have really bad, really poor food. So Mike Epps is not lying about that particular issue on the Breakfast Club, because you do have these food deserts where black people or people that are, low income would have to buy food in their food desert areas where they're using these SNAP programs to buy stuff at corner stores with none of nutritional type food. And then they got all these fast food restaurants in these type of communities, right? But now let me emphasize something very important here for everyone to learn. And this is very important. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to drive home this point. Of all the people receiving some form of government assistance, including programs like SNAP, Medicare, SSI, because they try to blame black people for all this stuff. Remember, at one point in time, they called black women welfare queens, bag ladies, and what have you, because people associate these government programs with black people. And I don't think that Mike Epps realizes that it's not just black people who are the biggest users of this stuff, but mainly, and we're talking about people that are low income now, but mainly it is white society that is gobbling up all the assistant government programs. Of all the people receiving some form of government assistance, including programs like SNAP, Medicare, SSI, and housing aid, the majority are white at 43% in one 2019 study, followed by Hispanics at 26%, black individuals at 23%. That's the percentage for all government assistance programs. And once again, when it comes to SNAP, white people are at 35% when it comes to just receiving SNAP alone. Black people at 26%. So I just wanted to put that in some perspective, because Mike Epps had a lot to say about black people not needing to be on these programs and how he's glad that Donald Trump cut it off for a certain period of time. So I just wanted to get y'all opinions and thoughts about that, what Mike Epps said. Do you agree with him? Do you disagree with him? Is this just another celebrity mouthing off about something that he doesn't really have to worry about anymore, because he's making money as a comedian and he's world-renowned as a comedian? Everyone knows him. He makes movies. But I do give him credit for buying up the block of his community that he grew up in and being an owner. And ownership is very important. So you let me know what you think about the Mike Epps and what he had to say. I want to say again, thank you for watching the program. Like and comment. And you know what? We're going to get ready to get out of here. This is Info Media Reacts.
Pretty face I never seen before. Got me thinking things I never thought. Got me thinking far out of place. Something feeling different in your presence.